What's good, everyone? Welcome back to Cleveland Sports Unfiltered. I told you guys that I would be covering the entirety of the draft, but I just couldn't wait, man. Day two of the draft is over with, and my lord, did he just do it again? Did Andrew Berry just cook up another draft 2 years in a row? Man, that boy, that boy AB out here cooking, man. So we started night one off what many of us predicted. Everybody was predicting a trade back of some sorts. But some thought we would get not a second, either a second rounder or another one for the next year's draft, 27 draft. But we didn't get that. We got a third, and excuse me, I totally forgot the other pick. But anywho, we went from 6 to 9. We started, and we got what Andrew Berry called, who he sees as a potential left tackle of the future, and the guy who's a culture setter, who's a building block, and somebody that out of Andrew Berry's mouth that they eyed and coveted from the start of the draft process. He was the number one guy that they coveted, and he obviously felt like moving back 3 spots wouldn't get them out of the range of getting him. But I think Spencer Fano was a solid pickup. There's this notion that when he was in Utah, that when Caleb Lomu came along, that he was forced to switch. No, it was he was the more athletic, the more talented guy that they felt confident in to make that switch. So that's why he made that switch. But he was a first team All American as a left tackle freshman. So, you know, yeah, I do think that he can play the left tackle and be good at it. Some people have they have the deja vu of Jed Wills, the guy who plays the right tackle, and they try to switch him to left, and Browns fans who did think that Jed Wills all over again, but I think that's Caden Proctor, honestly, but he's more of like the Dewan Jones with the weight issues, but solid pick, absolute solid pick. And anybody who knows me, who watches these videos, I told you guys that Andrew Bear was going to finish what he started. He started with the offensive line, and I just knew he was going to finish with the offensive line. And also, I didn't think Carnell Tate was going to go. What did he go, 4? I think he went fourth. Yeah, I didn't think he was going to go 4. I didn't think he was going to go that high. Didn't think Tennessee would eye him that high. I thought they for sure was like going Ruben Bain or one of these Ohio State defensive players, if not like Ruben Bain or somebody like that. I thought they were gonna go definitely defense, but they went offense, and it makes sense too because they definitely need some more weapons for Cam Ward. But the Browns also picked up the dual threat wide receiver KC Concepcion out of Texas A&M, electric with the ball in his hands, dynamic player inside and out, in the slot, out of the slot. I think he plays 61% of his snaps outside the slot and like 35 in the slot. So, dual threat guy. He had 2 punt returns last year. I think it was a fresh first team All American specialist as a returner. And, definitely maybe the fourth. We got the fourth best receiver at 24. You really can't complain about that. And I know everybody talks about his drops, and it's like, oh man, we got another receiver with drop problems. It's not that he has a problem like catching the ball. It's like more like concentration drops. Like he trying to move before he secured the ball, and we've seen that before, especially with David, where he would move before he secured the ball. Like he would turn his head before he secured the ball and boot drop. So it's more issues like in that range than hit my hands and just drop the ball. So I think he's gonna play a pivotal role. I think he should be a starter. These first two guys should definitely be his starters, especially Fano because, as Andrew Berry called him, he's the future left tackle. And for anybody who think he's gonna play guard or anything like that, no. Andrew Berry said we brought you here to be the future left tackle. So, and before I move on to the rest of the picks of day 2 and 3, um, Mr. Fano, Mr. Fano, um, it's okay. You're gonna get torched. You're gonna get cooked by Myles Garrett in practice. Please do not lose any confidence in yourself. Don't lose confidence, my brother. Please, please don't. I hope and pray you are not mentally weak like Jed Wills was. Because I felt that Myles Garrett had a little bit to do with his downfall because you're getting cooked by that type of greatness every day in practice, man. And also injuries played a part in Jed Wills, but shit. If I'm lying across from Myles Garrett every day, shit. Hey, coach, I ain't feeling the greatest either. I man, look here, man. Hey, you think your knee healthy? Nah, it's still a little bit sore. Is Miles off today? Fuck that. But just a word of advice to you: it's not if, but Miles is like Thanos. He's inevitable. He's inevitable. It's not if you're gonna get cooked. It's when you get cooked. When you get cooked in practice, don't take it personal. You're still good. It's just setting you up to show you, you know, what you got to deal with on the NFL level on a weekly basis. Well, not dealing with because it's only one Miles Garrett, but talking about, what you would have to see. But if you know what I mean, if you know, you know. But, you know, Miles is going to do his job in getting you prepared, in all honesty, all jokes aside. But I think Miles is going to do you a great job, a great service, and help you become a better tackle. And I hope you pick his brain, constantly ask him questions, irritate the shit out of him. It's one thing I learned at every job, find that good person. Miles seems like a good person, who was willing to share his knowledge and, give tackles pointers on what edge rushers like to do when you kick step this way and, when you punch and when you grab and what they like to do and what his counters would be and how you can guard guys like a Micah Parsons who tried to emulate some of the things Myles Garrett does, like the jab step, the crazy spin, the uber athletic bend, stuff like that. You really can pick his brain and learn a shit ton from him. But moving back to the drafts, just when you think that Andrew Berry was done, we was all happy, honestly. Like, I really didn't see too many people upset with the draft pick. They were upset with the compensation of trading from 6 to 9. I seen a lot of that, but I didn't see the problem with who they took. It was more of a problem with what they got in return, which, what do you expect, honestly? Like, last year's haul was a phenomenal haul that can't be replicated on a yearly basis. It's just not going to happen. Like, that was a plus trade, the best trade Andrew Berry's ever made in his GM career. I can't even say Cleveland Browns career. His whole GM career, at whether it's an associate or just GM. But that was the best trade that he's ever made, and he's not going to duplicate that again. It's like, please don't get this misconstrued. I'm just trying to give you an example. That trade is like Michael Jackson trying to chase the success of the Thriller album. If you know, you know. No. If you know, you know. But, you know, again, just when we think we was done getting receiver, he goes and get Denzel Boston at 39. I don't know how he fell to 39, but Denzel Boston falls to 39. A 6'4" wide receiver who has great hands. 50-50 ball contested guy catcher. He's gonna be great if used correctly. Let me say that if used correctly, he's gonna be phenomenal in the red zone. He's gonna be absolutely phenomenal red zone, and especially he's definitely gonna be. I thought KC was gonna be a quarterback's best friend, but no, he's definitely gonna be the quarterback's best friend outside of Harold Fannin because the tight end is the quarterback's best friend, but in that red zone, and especially the way these two potential starters play, Shador and Deshaun, whichever one starts, when they're scrambling, they're gonna have a phenomenal outlet to go to, whether it's Harold on one side or Boston on the other side. Man, I'm getting excited for this shit, man. Like that pick got me excited. I don't know if it's my favorite pick. It might be my favorite pick because of what he can do, and if used correctly, the type of threat he can be. Man, that pick excited me, and just when I thought, hey man, Andrew can't do any better than that, shit. Hold my beer. It's not a beer, y'all. It's just nothing there. But just when though he goes out and get I don't know how the fuck he slid to the second round. Oh, I'm sorry, third round. I don't know how he slid to the third round at 58. We got Emmanuel McNeil Warren, the safety from Toledo. He's the 6'3" physical ball hawking box safety from Toledo. He's uber aggressive at the point of attack on run defense. He's a box safety, so this does have me questioning whether they're gonna probably have Grant Delpit move to the post safety. I mean the free safety, and let Ronnie Hickman walk after this year, or you never know if Ronnie Hickman has a good year. You got two potential great box safeties and a good free safety, whatever Ronnie Hickman does. But it does have me questioning what their plans is for Grant moving forward, not for this year. This year, he's the starting box safety, and no, Grant is still going to continue to play well. He's one of the more underrated players on the team who don't get talked about that much. But, a solid pickup, an absolute solid steal, honestly, because he had a first-round grade tag to him if you look at any of the top draft experts mock drafts. Most of them had him mocked in the late first, at worst early seconds, and the Browns got him in the third round at 58 overall. Man, I don't know how he keeps doing it. Andrew is continuing to cook, and then just when you think he's done, he trades back into the third round and get a versatile versatile tackle, Austin Barber. Goes out and get another versatile tackle. He's, I think I heard that Todd is going to trot him outside, but if he needs to kick him inside, he'll kick him inside. So, they got some more versatility and more youth on the offensive line because, yeah, we did sign a good amount of players on the offensive line, but a good amount of them are over the age of 30. And you did just, solve some flexibility with youth on the team. So, man, I just had to come on here and clap it up for Andrew Berry. I had to come and clap it up for Andrew Berry, man. Phenomenal job, man. Like, it's just absolutely phenomenal what he's done in revamping this offense, also not neglecting the defense, but revamping the offensive line, revamping the receiver room. He did exactly what we all been begging him to do. We all begged him for the longest. Andrew, please address the offense. Jimmy Haslam told us in the owners' meetings last year, not last year, he told us in the owners' meeting this year that he thought we should have won more games. Well, which I thought was ludicrous, and I still think it was absolutely fucking ludicrous. But, you know, this year, if he says he expect to win more games, okay, now I don't think it's ludicrous. You addressed offensive line. You addressed the playmaker position. You got a dynamic speed threat. And I think you got the best separator in the draft at 24. Not saying he's a better overall player than Tyson, Lemon, or Tate, but I do think he's the better separator of the bunch. Just my opinion. I can be proven wrong with these guys' plays, but I do think they got the best separator. And also, you solve kick returner and punt returner. Now, you know, raise your hand if you was tired of Gage Larverdam doing that goddamn fair catch and fumbling the ball, and your heart, man, was anybody else heart was pounding when Gage Larverdam would go back there and fair catch the ball, and what did he was game where he fumbled that bitch twice. No more Gage Larvin in the punt return or the kick return game. We solved that with 24. You still get a solid inside and outside receiver, and you also address receiver again at 39, and you get you a 50-50 ball catcher. Go up and get it. Somebody with great hands. Denzel Boston is going to be the chain mover. I think that, Jerry's going to be wide receiver one, whether we like it or not. But y'all can't tell me adding these two guys don't make y'all feel better about Jerry Jeudy being number one. Because, if we're confident like we say we are in these two, I think one of these two, given, a year or two, who knows where Jerry may be. But, or if they will have a monster breakout season, but you never know. But if one of these two can prove that they better than Jerry, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Like, you can get rid of Jerry, keep him, whatever you want to do. I think his contract is expiring soon. I don't know the full length of his contract, but whatever. I think that Jerry's going to be your one. He's going to get most of the targets. He's probably going to get 150 targets throughout the year. KC, he's going to be the big threat. He's going to be the big play guy. He's going to be the guy. Excuse me. He's going to be the guy where when we feel like we need a big play, we're going to look his way. And also, I do feel the same about Boston. When we need a big play, we're going to look his way. But also, when we need that tough third down catch, is either going to be Deshaun or Shedeur looking Boston's way or Harold Fannon's way first. No, I know that the read may be Jerry Jeudy, but I do think that the more reliable fourth down 50-50 ball sideline catcher is going to be proven to be Denzel Boston this year. That's just my opinion. I think he may be my favorite pick of the draft. Like that dude is he's incredible. He's incredible, and it's a steal to get him at 39. I thought he would have went way higher than that, but thank you, thank you, Andrew Berry, for that. But man, he was cooking again. Andrew just cooked so far in the first 2 days of the draft. And before I leave, was anybody else laughing at the Pittsburgh shitters when they thought they had Makai Lemon? Thank you, Philly. But that's all I got to say about the draft so far. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Please, please hit that like, share, subscribe button for your boy. Does me wonders. It's cost free to you guys, and we can get this content out to a bigger, broader audience. But until next time, peace.